What is up, everybody? Welcome on in. Come on in. Don't be shy. It's the Alarm Fantasy Football. Andrew Cooper here, Howard Bender. And today, we're going after the big one. DraftKings, $15 million in total prizes, only a $20 entry. Top prize, 2 million bones. We're going for it. We're both going to jump into it. If you want to jump in with us, go over to DraftKings and get all set up right now. They have a bunch of promos going right now, Bender. I'll tell you right now, if you deposit anything over $5, if you deposit, and if you use our QR code, you can get a deposit match. But if you deposit anything over $5, they give you an entry into the Week 1 DFS Millionaire, right? They also right now they're giving you a second ticket when you jump into your first $15 million contest. Is that's still running, right?
Yeah, it's a draft one get one special over at DraftKings right now. If you enter their $15 million Millionaire Best Ball Tournament with a $20 entry fee, you will get on your first time, you'll get a ticket for a free entry into this contest again. So one $20 entry fee gets you 2 entries and your shot at $2 million in the grand prize.
And the other bonus, the one I got there, that's for anybody. Like I deposited money today. I've been on DraftKings for years. And if you deposit money today, you get the other entry. So you actually get an entry. If you deposit money and then go and join, you get into 3 Millionaire Maker contests. Pretty cool. So we're going to get that fire. It doesn't get better than that, right? 3 for 1.
No, just not.
We're going to have our DFS content coming out soon. It's still best ball season. It's still mid-August. Redraft. You should get your draft set up for next week and the following week and make sure you're good to go. But we're going to hit the best ball. Soon enough will be DFS, and I can't wait for that. I mean, it's just so much fun in season. What's up, everybody in the chat? We're going to join in now. Let's sync our watches. Ready? Anybody who wants to join with us, we are joining in 3, 2, 1. The $15 million prize, $20 entry fee, DraftKings Best Ball Contest right now. And we're up and running. It's going to be a 30-second clock. We'll pull that up on the screen when we get there. While we're waiting, no big news, right? I mean, actually, an interesting trade. What is that trade?
Big news, dude. It's been crazy.
It has been big news.
These last couple of days. Oh, look at that. We're in.
I'll get us out.
Yeah, you're pick 5. I'm pick 2. We are right near each other. That could be a little bit on the dangerous side. We do have an affectation for a number of players, but I think what I love about this though is that I think you and I definitely have different draft styles, and it's why I like you doing your draft and me doing mine, and we can kind of see where we meet in the middle here, because I think that it's important to see the different strategies that are employed. So this draft is actually, Coop and I are both in it. It is full. And again, I'm pick 2. He's pick 5. The draft will start in 1:15. So Coop's going to bring that up over there. Gives us an opportunity to say hi to everybody in the chat. I just saw a little comment there from Ann Dunn. I know Jack Straw is in here. Mile High Luke is in here. Ani Coop, first one in here, throwing down the likes for Laney. So, a little skinny floating around in here as well. So great stuff here. Love having the family in the in the chat here. This is going to be another good one here. I mean, listen, I loved our last one that we did the other day. I loved the draft that we ended up pulling off there. I'm excited to mix it up a little bit.
Let's pull it up then. Let's get the board up and running. 30 seconds till we get in. Folks that have never drafted over here on DraftKings, it's pretty standard business here. Full PPR, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 1 flex. It's a 20-round draft. So if you've been over at the Fantasy Alarm looking at my UDFA and deep round rookie wide receivers, and you're looking for a place to sprinkle them somewhere, this is probably it, right? Like your hometown leagues, you may not be getting down to the Torrey Hortons and the Isaiah Bonds of the world, but over here, not a crazy, right? Dante Thornton is a guy who was a day 3 rookie. He's getting a little steam, a little shot. So this is the place to do it. If you want to go deep, DraftKings is the place to rock.
Absolutely. Early part of the draft here, always kind of an easy going action, right? I mean, second pick of the draft, they took, the person from first took Jamar Chase. Bijan Robinson, for me, it's a no-brainer. I do like this upside pick here, the swing for the fences with Christian McCaffrey. You're going to be on the clock soon, Coop. Where do you go?
See, I wanted CeeDee Lamb. I wanted
Oh.
CeeDee Lamb. That's the guy I had my eye on. I think that I'm just going to go with the chalk pick here. Saquon Barkley or Jahmyr Gibbs feel really good to me. I'm getting to the point, Howard. I think with my next ranking update coming out today that I'm just finalizing, I think I'm going to have CeeDee Lamb as my number 2 overall player. I think I'm living in a world where I feel so good. Everything that I like about Jamar Chase, right? Jamar Chase playing with playing with Joe Burrow, had a 400-point PPR season last year. I got CeeDee Lamb playing with Dak Prescott, had a 400-point PPR season the year before last. It feels like such a safe and certain pick to me that I just feel like the things I like about Chase, I like about Lamb. In any sort of auction draft, I'm willing to pay whatever the Chase price is for Lamb if I don't get Chase. Like, why wouldn't he just be the guy that I take at 2? The exception for me would be if you play in a league where there's only 2 wide receiver spots. If you play in a league that's 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers, I'll probably take a running back at 2. But if it's 3 wide receiver league, I just feel so good about CeeDee Lamb this year that I'm just going to go with the guy I feel most comfortable about in the early rounds. And if I lose drafting Chase or Lamb, I can live with that.
Yeah, and listen, I agree with you on the comp here of looking at it, because now what you're also seeing with Dallas is the addition of George Pickens, right? I mean, you've got T. Higgins opposite Jamar Chase. That doesn't affect Jamar Chase in a negative way. So for those who are out there thinking, well, maybe the presence of George Pickens is going to pull targets away from CeeDee Lamb, it only enhances the passing game. The only thing that I have a problem with Dallas is the fact that they just don't have a ground game.
Right.
Joe Burrow is going to sling the rock in Cincinnati, but you know what? He definitely is able to keep defenses honest because of the presence of Chase Brown. Dallas needs that running back to step up. It's not going to be Javonte Williams. It's not going to be Miles Sanders. It needs to be Jadon Blue, because he's probably the only one who's like really capable of it. But that's the only difference I see. But we're also dealing with, again, high volume passing offense. The defense is having issues. They definitely need to be able to stop the run in Dallas a little bit better. Otherwise, teams are just going to run all over them all day, and then maybe it grinds the clock out on them. It gives less opportunities to the offense. But overall, I'm okay.
Yeah. I'm glad A.J. Brown went. I'm glad Brock Bowers went, so I can take my guy here in the second round. This is why I like taking wide receiver in the first round, because this second round group of running backs, guys like Josh Jacobs, I love him. But Jonathan Taylor, to me, I mean, this guy, playing with these brutal quarterbacks, guys like Gardner Minshew and Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson throwing for under 48% completion percentage last year. During all this, all his time in the league, this guy has averaged over 100 yards from scrimmage per game in his entire career. Only 4 guys can say that. It's him, it's Saquon Barkley, who I took in the first round, it's Christian McCaffrey, and it's Alvin Kamara. Like, this guy just finds a way to make it happen. They still have Quentin Nelson. They still have Ryman Bernard. Like, the left side of that line is still ready to rock and roll. And now, hopefully, with Daniel Jones, they get a little bit more consistent work at quarterback here. So for me, Jonathan Taylor, absolutely a smash spot here. I would love to have CeeDee Lamb and Jonathan Taylor. I have Barkley and Jonathan Taylor. Now it's time to do some work at wide receiver.
I got Bijan Robinson. I got Josh Jacobs. I'm definitely set over there. Now the question is do I want to go with that wide receiver? I don't think so. I actually am a lot more bullish on being able to do this and grab that Lamar Jackson. Give me that early, heavy rushing quarterback. I am not concerned at all about somebody stepping on his foot and he's not at practice right now.
Yeah, and again, we have to keep in mind that certain quarterbacks are capable of just breaking it. You know what I mean? We've seen it in the past, whether it's Peyton Manning throwing 55 touchdown passes or Cam Newton doing the Cam Newton things he did his MVP year, or, Lamar Jackson leading the league in passing touchdowns quietly while also running for a ton of yards. Like, in certain contests like this, sometimes you just have to have the right quarterback. Last year, there was basically only 3 difference-making quarterbacks. It ended up being Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, and Jaden Daniels. Like, for contests like this where the playoffs matter, I went through and looked at a lot of the top teams. There were definitely some that had Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, they also, a lot of them had somebody like Baker Mayfield. But you really, if your quarterback gets hot at the right time and puts together the right set of games, man, you can crush. So yeah, Lamar Jackson, getting them in the third round, that's an easy one.
Yeah, I think, again, one of the strategies that we've employed, and I've talked about this with a number of different people, and it's not just best ball. I mean, listen, it works beautifully here in best ball to have a guy like Lamar Jackson, because then I don't have to sit and sweat who my backup QBs are really going to be, because I expect Jackson to be the guy more often than not. So I don't worry about that for best ball. And then even in a season long format, just having that security there, having that high floor at the quarterback position, it's definitely important for me. I have done drafts where I've waited on the QB position and gone with pocket passers, grab a guy like Dak Prescott, grab a guy like, even late, like Trevor Lawrence. I'm fine with that. But what I've found right now is that I'm pretty comfortable, even in a sea of heavy wide receiver drafts. I'm pretty comfortable with the running back heavy, and then hitting that third round. Give me Lamar Jackson if I can. And I'll do it. I'll do it Lamar Jackson. I'll do it with Jaden Daniels. I'll do it with Josh Allen. I'll do it with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if I'm going to do it with Joe Burrow, who just went there in the fourth. Let me ask you this. The guy who's picking, or woman, whoever's picking first overall right there, you take Jamar Chase, you take T. Higgins. I mean, if you're grabbing both receivers there, are you trying to stack genuinely? Would it not make sense to take Joe Burrow there? Because he's going to go early in this draft when you're playing it,
Right.
when you're sitting there at the first position.
I'll tell you my philosophy on this, that as somebody who has done a lot of these drafts, a lot of best ball drafts, even when I take Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I'm not taking Joe Burrow at that fourth and fifth swing. I'd never do it. And here's why. Because I have minimum 5 to 10 teams where I've done that and I've gotten Joe Burrow at the next swing. I already have those in my back pocket, and I've seen a ton of them. It happens all the time, especially when you take Chase and Higgins. The odds of those guys coming back to you are much greater because there's nobody else trying to figure out these correlations that you have, right? So for me, I have no problem waiting and playing it that way. The way I look at this, with what happened just here, the guy picking at 1 still has 2 good players in Chase and Higgins. He can figure out all sorts of stacks later. His quarterbacks could be Tyreek Hill and Tua. His quarterbacks could be, Drake May and any number, and Stephon Diggs. He could easily figure out correlations later. The guy that screwed up here is that guy Parker J, because they reached above ADP for a quarterback that they have no correlations for. That Joe Burrow pick, it might be annoying for King Herbington right there, but he's there. That team's going to be just fine. The team that screwed up is the Burrow team. So I have no problem if I have Chase and Higgins missing on Burrow. I'll just figure out correlations later. There's plenty of them. I don't even need correlations. I just need good players.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing. Also, I definitely don't need the correlation. All right, so I'm on the clock right now. I've got Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, Lamar Jackson, Jamo Williams, and I'll talk about that. I'm going to turn around here. I'm going to add myself Cortland Sutton, and I'll tell you what, I love having Jameson Williams and Cortland Sutton. First and foremost, Cortland Sutton. He's the number 1 wide receiver in Denver. If we've known anything about the offensive scheme run by Sean Payton and Joe Lombardi, it funnels targets to the X receiver. We've seen it in the past. We saw it with Michael Thomas. We saw Lombardi do it with Mike Williams with the Chargers. We've seen Cortland Sutton lead this team in targets for the last 2 seasons. And 1,100 yards last year, 10 touchdowns the year before that. So I'm fine there. What I love about Jamo Williams here, and I made this a little bit of a bold statement. I think you and I were on the show together when I said it. I think Jameson Williams has the ability to outpoint Amon-Ra St. Brown this year. I think he can outdo him in receiving yards. He might not get as many receptions as Amon-Ra, who has the shorter ADOT, who has the, more of that move the chains, reliable mentality. But I love what they've done with Jameson Williams in recent seasons here. They've really expanded him, and new offensive coordinator John Morton has expanded Jamo's route tree as well. So I'm actually very bullish on him. I put Jameson Williams now, and where I'm looking at him, I put him in that category of like the T. Higgins or the George Pickens, like the number 2 receiver who can be like more of like a 1A as opposed to a number 2.
Right. And the other thing that is so great for Jameson Williams in best ball that a lot of people, including myself, are kind of blind to at times is that there's certain players that get a meaningful number of carries. I really don't care about 2 or 3 carries on the season. If you're getting double-digit carries, that means we can pencil you in for at least a couple games where you're going to get an end around. I mean, last year, Jameson Williams came out, he had 11 carries, right? He had 11 carries. He had a touchdown on the ground. He's had a touchdown on the ground in back-to-back years now. Xavier Worthy, another guy, 20 carries for Xavier Worthy. You don't really go from getting 20 carries one year to getting none the next. These guys, like that's meaningful. I mean, you can pencil them in for an extra 20 plus points on, rushing and a potential touchdown, 10 to 20 at least. And oftentimes that's the difference between a wide receiver 3 and a wide receiver 2. It's annoying in redraft where you can't possibly predict where and when those are going to come. In best ball, you don't have to. You just get all those points. You don't even have to think about, oh, is this good conditions for a carry today? We don't have to think about that. You can just collect those points. So that can be the difference between a couple of these guys that just aren't used that way in any capacity versus ones that are. Now I want to point something out here in the chat, folks that didn't see it. Chris Godwin news breaking here. Emeka Egbuka just went in the 5th round, which is that's kind of where he goes ahead of DK Metcalf. The Chris Godwin news is that he is off the PUP list. So if he started the year on the PUP list, he would have been guaranteed to miss the first 4 games. Yeah. They are saying that they're taking him off the PUP list to ramp him up and start practicing and getting up to speed. They still expect him to miss a couple games to start the year. He might not even be back till October, but at least we know that the injury is not so bad that they're kind of just ruling him out for the year, right?
Well, Schefter says, he's probably not coming back until October, which means that he's missing the first 4 weeks of the season. I think they're trying to remain optimistic here and say that, we're not going to put him on the PUP list in case we can get him back for week 4. Like, I think that's really more of the move. But I mean, again, one of my biggest problems, and I was going to ask you about Egbuka coming up there in that 5th round, because the question is that too high for him? Todd Bowles, Jeremy Lick, the GM, these guys just keep saying it over and over again. He's right on schedule, right? He's exactly where he needs to be. But none of them have said anything about the fact of when he's due back. So to not be back for until October seems very, very plausible here, even without being on the PUP list. So I guess the question is, Coop, is Egbuka, is that too high? Is that too high for him?
For me, it is, which is hard for me to say because it's, people, that's why I love shows where we can actually explain ourselves versus tweets where you just say 10 words and expect people to understand it. But I was very high in Emeka Egbuka coming into the draft, coming out of the draft. Anyone that's seen my rookie rankings knows that I have him super high in Dynasty, but I do worry about the, his deployment early on and throughout this season as a rookie because of the weapons they have, and the problem that you run into with something like this contest, 800,000 teams, a lot of those teams this contest has been open for weeks. A lot of those teams already got Egbuka in the 10th round, but there's probably been 400,000 drafts where Egbuka went earlier. Right. And, and the biggest problem is that all the money in a tournament like this is distributed based on the playoff weeks, based on the end of the season. And that's when we expect Godwin to be up and running. Jalen McMillan will be back from whatever neck issue he has. Of course, Evans or Godwin or Egbuka or McMillan could get hurt again. And then it's a little easier of a path. But for me, I look at some of these guys, it's like Travis Hunter was the 2nd overall pick in the NFL draft. He's obviously the 2nd best wide receiver, 2nd best pass catcher on his team. He's just not, he doesn't have a Chris Godwin to deal with at all. Same with Matthew Golden. The 2 guys I just took in back-to-back rounds here. Matthew Golden could easily just be the best wide receiver on the Packers. He was drafted in the 1st round to be that guy. They haven't had that guy. Those guys to me have a much more clear path. And we've seen it time and time again. It's not just Chris Godwin that had to wait 3 years. CeeDee Lamb as a rookie was stuck behind Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup and was only playing the slot and finished as wide receiver 24. Next year, obviously his role increased and he blew up. JSN, another great player, he was stuck behind Tyler Lockett. And the next year, he kind of took over from Tyler Lockett. Meanwhile, a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. that had a clear path last year, he was the league-winning guy. So for me, I look at it, and I'm just looking for a bit of a clearer path than what these guys have. You got to keep in mind, they just paid Chris Godwin a ton of money to be their guy, guaranteed money that can't be affected by the injury. So I do have some concerns that, at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot more spread out than people think because they still have a ton of great wide receivers. We want Malik Neighbors and nobody. That's how we got Malik
Right.
Neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
right.
Now let me ask you another question here as we go through this draft. And again, shout out to our friends over at DraftKings for partnering up with us here. As far as this all goes, I'm going to just kind of throw up this. You got the QR code right there. You can go to fantasyalarm.com/DraftKings as well and use the promo code ALARM when you sign up. But here you go. Draft a $20 main event best ball team, get one draft free. They'll give you a ticket and it shows up immediately. You sign up for the draft and you start drafting. You'll by the time you finish drafting, you'll look at your little ticket thing up in the top corner. You got to click that OK button there, buddy. You're in your draft. Click that OK button up there. Get out of there, man. Show everybody the little one on your notification.
That's a different screen I got. Yeah, there you go.
Is that though? There you go. Anyway, so again, our friends over at DraftKings doing some great stuff. It's draft one, get one free on the on this one here. It's the $15 million main event best ball tournament when you guys do it. So again, either click that QR code or go to fantasyalarm.com/DraftKings and use that promo code ALARM. All right, Sauce McFloss, where you going here? Who you taking?
I'm going to do a little stacky. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do a little stacky. I'm going to take my guy here because you keep taking him in all these drafts. So I'm going to take Michael Pittman here before you get an opportunity.
He was on my radar.
You've gotten him too many times. This is my turn. Michael Pittman, one of my favorite picks from this depth. I mean, this is a guy that had 140 and 150 targets the 2 years before last. Last year, he played through a broken bone in his back, not a ligament, not a disc, a bone that we're told is fully healed. And he still led the team in targets, right? This is a guy who's the captain of the team. He's a split end that plays 90% of the snaps and at times doesn't even have to play split end. They move him around to flanker, even a little bit of slot from time to time. To me, this is a guy that could come out with a new quarterback here in Daniel Jones and get right back to what he was doing before. And what I mean when I say right back to what he was doing before, this is a guy who was the wide receiver 13 in fantasy football, playing with guys like Gardner Minshew, throwing for under 200 yards a game. I mean, Daniel Jones at time has thrown for 230 yards a game, but his career average is well over 200. Like if Daniel Jones which comes out and he plays the way he's played in the past, which is what essentially got him to lose his job, if he just plays at that level, he could support a guy like Michael Pittman. But for me, Michael Pittman all day long. And I still like Josh Downs, but Josh Downs is a part-time player out of the slot. And even if Downs does get a bigger role, that's not going to come at the expense of Pittman. So I feel really good about Pittman. I'm pretty fired up about it.
Yeah, I mean, having Daniel Jones in there as the quarterback is definitely the way to go. I saw it yesterday, or just 2 days ago when I was on the show with Jim Bowden over on Sirius XM, and we were elated because it was like all of those shares of Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Warren, they all just went way up, and it was much less of a concern over there. All right, Coop, I made the move in the 9th round. Right after the first person, King took Brian Robinson Jr., I took Bill Krosky Merritt. I figure why not take this one here? This seems to be the area where he's going the most. Now I've seen him go higher. I've seen him go in the 5th round, of some drafts, and I think that's a little too bullish here. But where Brian Robinson's been going right now is the same spot where I have I almost called him Jacory. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But I put Bill Krosky Merritt in that same range, that 8th round, because if Robinson does get dealt, which it does sound like he's going to, I think he's going to have value if he goes into the right spot. We talked about it yesterday, right? I'd love to see him land in Chicago and be on that, in that tandem with DeAndre Swift. So Krosky Merritt becomes a guy who you want to look at. And what I did was I dove headfirst into what the scheme was that Dagey, his offensive coordinator at Arizona, what he did. And he ran an outside zone scheme. And that was where Krosky Merritt really thrived. You know, we're not looking for him to be the between the tackles guy. That can be Chris Rodriguez. But if you're looking for somebody who's going to be explosive on the outside zone, if you're looking for somebody who's going to be able to hang with Jaden Daniels on the RPO work that they're doing, I think Krosky Merritt definitely fits the bill. So I'm not rating him too high. I'm basically putting him exactly where Brian Robinson is in my rankings and draft plan. And it's like, you know, the guys who it's right there teetering on the, you know, tandem backfield guys versus, you know, the guys before him are all pretty much have the backfields kind of to themselves.
Right. And this is the place to do it, right? If you want to go for the hype upside guys, this is the place to do it, because you only win if you hit the right guys and hit the right values. Like last year, a name that was definitely on a lot of the teams that placed in the money was a guy like Bucky Irving. And it was a similar situation. You looked at Rachaad White last year and you said, hey, I don't think that guy is super crazy talented, super crazy upside. And I like taking shots on this rookie. And that's what we're doing. And Brian Robinson is that kind of guy. He's not super high upside. Austin Eckler isn't either. Might as well lean into the unknown into something like this, where if you hit big, you hit real big. And if you don't, then it doesn't really matter. It's just another one of your teams that didn't do much.
Throw enough against the wall, Coop. Something's bound to stick.
That's right. It's like, you know, that's why. So that's my kind of goes back to my point on Joe Burrow and picking him at 4 or 5. It's like, to me, if I'm going to draft 100 teams, I could draft 100 kind of mediocre, safe teams that probably aren't going to win me the whole thing. Or I could try to do some crazy things, try to push the limits. And then maybe like 50 of my teams are drawn dead and they're just not good. But the other 50 are special. The other 50 are ones where I did wait super long on Burrow and get the value on him. Because the guy that won this contest, the guys that win these contests, they get like crazy values. They're willing to wait on their stacks and get them well after ADP, or at least at ADP. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking to do. Like right here, I just took a player, Colston Loveland, where in a managed redraft league, I'm probably not drafting a lot of Loveland. And if I am drafting him, I'm probably going to draft somebody that I can trust, like Tucker Kraft or Hunter Henry after, because I don't even know what this guy's role is going to be. I don't know what he's going to be like. But what I do know is that he was the first tight end drafted off the board in the first round by Ben Johnson, a guy that we trust to be an offensive guru. And if he decides that Colston Loveland is going to be a featured part of this offense, it doesn't matter that they have Roma Dunze and Luther Burden and these guys, because they're going to be operating behind this guy. We've seen it happen a bunch of times. We saw it happen with Sam Laporta and Jameson Williams early in his career. So for me, this is where I'm going to take a shot on these crazy rookies like Colston Loveland. And then in my hometown league with a $250 buy-in, I probably won't. You know, this is where I'm going to take my risks in something like this. It's a lot of fun.
And you got, listen, you're invested in a number of these youngsters right now, right? Matthew Golden, Travis Hunter, Colston Loveland. It is a good time to take a shot on these guys. No doubt about it.
This is the format. This is the format to do it, right? Like give yourself a shot at crazy upside, because again, we've never seen these guys. They could be terrible. They could be incredible. I mean, Travis Hunter was picked 2nd overall. These guys were all picked in the 1st round of the NFL draft. You never know.
You never know, buddy. You never know. All right. So I kind of looking through it here. I feel like people are going to start grabbing that second QB. I wanted to grab myself a little Trevor Lawrence. Luther Burden just came off the board. This is definitely when you talk about taking a guy like Colston Loveland, how do you see this passing attack really shaking out for the receivers, right? I've talked to you about Roma Dunze, and I worry that maybe we were overrating him a little bit because he was such a featured wide receiver in college, and he's not the featured wide receiver in Chicago. Can he be the featured wide receiver? Does Ben Johnson view him as such? Or, is this going to be Roma Dunze basically competing with Luther Burden, possibly even losing out on that, and DJ Moore being the focal point?
I think they have enough slot type guys like Burden and Loveland and even DJ Moore, that he's not going to be in the Amon-Ra St. Brown role if there's going to be one. Last year, he was the wide receiver 3 and the field stretcher. The upside case for Rome Odunze is if Ben Johnson wants to kind of recreate the offense that he had with the Lions, maybe he will have DJ Moore as the Amon-Ra St. Brown role, and he'll have Luther Burden as kind of the understudy to that, an eventual, takeover for that. And then Rome Odunze will be in that Jameson Williams role, where he's kind of stretching the field on the outside, playing a full snap share as the split end and field stretcher, and potentially getting some of those deep throws, potentially getting some end arounds, some creative stuff. I know last year I did the full film study on Rome Odunze, and they had him running all sorts of cool like wheel routes and things like that to try and get him in space. It really boils down to Caleb Williams, because last year Rome Odunze was getting open. He was making a ton of contested catches. He and Terry McLaurin were the only 2 guys to get double-digit contested catch targets and catch 70% of them. Like he can obviously play, but Caleb Williams was just last year overthrowing him like crazy, throwing the ball way too hard when it was not necessary to do so. So it's going to boil down to Caleb Williams and what passes he's comfortable making. They could simplify the playbook for him, and then Rome Odunze could end up being a boom bust type guy. So best ball is probably the best format for a guy like Odunze. I do believe in the talent, but it's not the role we wanted for him. We wanted him to be like a Mike Evans type split end, not like a, hey, you go run downfield like Alec Pierce and we'll throw it to you every once in a while type guy. So it does worry me.
Well, I want to be Cowboys from Arizona or Pimps from Oakland, Coop. You can't always get what you want. Right, I want to just pop into the chat here real quick because one of the guys who is always here, and I love and respect the opinion here, especially when you're talking about the Commanders. Greg Martinez throwing down B-Rob will be traded for Waddle. What does that? I mean, listen, Achane dealing with the calf injury right now. I know people are somewhat concerned that is always a precursor to popping your Achilles. What does losing Waddle do for Miami, given the fact that Tyreek Hill is he's like, I don't know, maybe 2 drinks away from being the next Antonio Brown.
Right. I mean, like that. That's one where I'm not sure I get the rationale, because if I'm the Dolphins, you want to get younger, right? Like they invested in these older players like Tyreek Hill and Darren Waller. That's a kind of win now move. So why would they trade their young wide receiver away and keep these older players? If anything, Tyreek Hill should be the guy that's on the trade block. Would he not be? So I just don't see why Waddle would be the one that they would move. Feels like maybe a little wishing from a Commanders fan on a player that they want. Also, what would that mean for the Terry McLaurin deal?
Why would you ever want Jalen Waddle on your team?
Waddle's fantastic. When healthy, he's great. I would be happy to have Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle would be the best wide receiver on the Patriots. He'd be the best wide receiver on a number of teams.
On tonight's Sirius XM show with me and Andrew Cooper, you guys are going to want to tune in for the muck draft that we're going to do. Cooper and I are going to do our first 6 rounds of a draft, but it's players that we never take in each round. Right? So who's the first rounder that we're never taking? Doesn't matter where we are in the draft. We're just not taking them. And we're going to do that for the first 6 rounds. So, spoiler alert, round 6, I got a little Jalen Waddle already penciled in.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I have a lot of players to pick from because, maybe not so much in the first round, but there's a lot of players I just never take. I wanted to ask your thoughts before he gets scrolled off the screen here. You see where Drake May went in this thing?
Dude, the helium
QB9.
Unbelievable.
They must be reading the articles over on fantasyalarm.com.
Over the past, all right, so again, we can talk about this. Bill Krosky-Merritt, Emeka Egbuka, Ricky Pearsall, Ollie Gordon, Drake May. Those 5 guys are going so significantly higher than they were even just 2 weeks ago. Forget about a month ago. Just 2 weeks ago, those 5 players, you want to talk about risers on the ADP charts. I got an article that's going to come out, and that's going to be featuring. I mean, I did one on Monday, and that already had Krosky Merritt and Emeka Egbuka in there. But I mean, it's crazy how high some of these guys are starting to go right now.
Right. There's some of the, Drake May is one of my highest rostered QBs, and even I'm not getting him anymore because I'm not paying that price. Even if I rank him around QB 10, 11, I mean, QB 9 ahead of Kyler Murray is just not something I'm doing right now. I would take Kyler Murray in that spot every time. So for me, I get it. I have a ton of them. I wrote the article on why I think that he has a great floor and upside with his rushing ability. But at this stage, again, if a new contest comes out, and this is something that I've been meaning to mention to people, you have to consider the contest you're in with the context of what you're doing. If right now you wanted to go out and draft an all hype team with Drake May and Emeka Egbuka and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, wait until a new contest opens, because new contests are opening all the time. Like they're opening these I was looking at a crazy one, the King of the Desert, Howard, where it's like if you win that, then you play in some playoff DFS contest, and if you win that, you get to go out to like Arizona. Like I'm definitely going to get in that. But like look for new contests that are just open, because every once in a while they'll open a single entry like new contest. That's where you go and draft all those guys that are steaming up in ADP, because the group of people, the pod of people you're going to be drafting it with are all from August. This contest has been open for months, and there's a bunch of teams out there that got Drake May in the 10th and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt with the last round pick, and they got Emeka Egbuka in the 12th round. Like it's going to be difficult for you to compete with the top teams there, most likely. So just keep that in mind, that like there's definitely a time and place and a strategy for that. But I just feel like being the person to take Emeka Egbuka in the 5th round in this contest that's already had 400,000 entries is maybe not an optimal strategy. So but if he comes out and he's just incredible, then it still could be worth it. An example, Brian Thomas Jr. last year was a guy who got steamed up. The teams where I got him in July did much better than the teams where I was taking him in August. I'll say that.
Well, yeah, which definitely makes sense. I mean, again, there's advantages to drafting in formats like this early, and there's different advantages with drafting late, because you're starting to see some of the more injured guys. Oh, the nice Hunter Henry grab there, son.
I felt good about it.
Plucked right out of my queue.
I gotta circle back on wide receivers though, big time. Because I got
the Pat Bryant pick right there. Come on, man.
got a lot
Everybody's
of
like just looking through my queue, taking all my guys.
They're eyeballing you, dude.
They are eyeballing me. They are indeed. All right. So where am I going here? Oh, I guess I'm gonna go. You know what? I mean, this is kind of where I wanted to live. I wanted to figure out who I wanted to use as far as it goes. I got Lawrence with a bye week of week 8, and then I've got Lamar Jackson with a bye week of week 7. Do I think that good old Danny Dimes can hold court at least for the first 8 weeks?
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Doing it.
I need him.
Oh, do you?
I got Michael Pittman.
Oh,
you know what? Hey, at least they can never. You know what? At least they can never accuse us of collusion, Howard. Oh no, Stafford just went.
Stafford just went too. You're gonna end up with either Wilson or Flacco.
I like Russ here. Why? Because he's literally the last starting quarterback left. The other guys are, I mean, Joe Flacco or Tyler Shuck are the only other possible starting quarterbacks. How'd that happen? When did that happen? I see that more. I swear, I see that more on here than any other platform because of the 20 rounds. That quarterbacks, it's kind of like reverse psychology where everyone plans to draft 3 and they get moved up a bit, versus some of the other ones that are like shorter, less rounds. People are like, oh yeah, I'll just take a quarterback in the last round, and it kind of moves them down. Like that Sam Darnold pick I planned on taking Darnold because I have JSN, and I planned on taking Daniel Jones if I didn't get him, but instead I took Hunter Henry. The best laid plans of mice and men, Howard.
The best laid plans of mice and men.
I might need another quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that's one of the things where you kind of you look at it. Like, where do you like to sit with your build right now? I mean, not at this point in time in the draft, but once you're finished, are you looking for that 3 QB, 3 tight end kind of format there? Because it seems to be where I
I,
kind of linger. I might though only sit with 2 tight ends based on what's going to be available by the time it gets back to me.
right. Who'd you take as your first tight end?
Mark Andrews.
Yeah, so in a build like that, I have no problem with that because you've already invested a lot in Mark Andrews. For me,
Yeah.
if I get one of the top 6 quarterbacks, the 4 mobile QBs, Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels and Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or if I get not Baker Mayfield, if I get Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes, then I usually just draft 2. But if I go outside of that range, then I usually draft 3 because like a lot of times when I do that, my QB1 is someone like Kyler or Bo Nix or Drake May, and there's still just enough uncertainty there. The mobile guys do tend to get banged up a little more, so I usually go 3 if I wait that long. So for me, it's a balance. I'm trying to balance out my positions. If I wait, just like if I go hero RB, my bench is going to have like 8 running backs because it's the position I'm weakest at. Same with quarterback. If I wait on quarterback and it's one of my weakest positions, I have no problem filling up my bench with quarterbacks or tight ends. Same thing with redraft leagues. It's like, what is your bench for? Right? Your bench is for improving the parts of your lineup that are weakest. Everyone thinks that all that matters is hitting on, the fancy running backs and wide receivers. Even in the shallow leagues, you're still going to have 4 bench spots for running backs and wide receivers if you use one on a quarterback or one on a tight end. So it still boggles my mind that people fall for that, the fallacy of tradition. Like this is the way it's supposed to be. So you never draft a tight end. I read it in a magazine in 2003. Like time to let that stuff go.
That's always my favorite. That's the way we always used to do it.
No,
That's
it's the way
something
that you
that
do it.
it's not a philosophy
Right.
that you really want to latch on to. Well, that's the way we always used to do it. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean it was right.
And
Doesn't
sometimes
mean
it is right. Sometimes it is right, but show me the reasoning. Show me the math. Show me the study that says it. And then I'll say yes. If your answer is we do it that way because that's the way it's always done, that's not actual logic. So get out of here with that business. Be gone. Now
All
we're
right.
getting into the hype boys here.
I was just looking at good old Jalen Wright. That's where I was going to go with my pick. Now the question is who do I want to go with? The running back position is just disgusting right now. It really is.
That guy
There's
might have done
nothing that I like.
That guy might have done you a favor because Jalen Wright left practice today with an issue in his leg. Says that it's left with a limp.
Why is it not taking my guy? Why is it counting down? I clicked the button there. Did it take him? No, it didn't take the guy I wanted.
So I kind of really like the pick that you got.
I don't mind Dante Thornton. I don't.
Well,
but now it's like
now you got to get the guy you wanted on the way back, or
I'm trying to, get in there, but now it's not allowing me. Great. Thanks.
Uh-oh.
No, I'll be able to grab the guy that I want right now. I'm sure. I'm hoping. Unless King takes him from me.
If you can get logged in, because you don't want to get stuck with Jalen McMillan right now.
I definitely don't want to get stuck with Jalen McMillan. Now my page is refreshing here. This is a huge bummer. And I'm officially on the clock, and I am looking at a blank screen right now.
Okay.
So
McMillan watch is underway.
The McMillan watch is here, and that's going to be a huge bummer for me.
Come on, internet.
It's not going to let me. Come on, DraftKings. I got 10 seconds to go here. Refresh the stupid page already. Why is it taking so long? It's not going to happen for me. And here comes Jalen McMillan.
The proud owner of Jalen McMillan.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Why are we refreshing here at this point and not making it happen? That's pissing me off now. Me off. I want a free ticket.
Hit him up.
I want a free ticket.
Dude, you got the clip. You got the live clip.
Right? I was like clicking the button, making it happen. Didn't happen. Oh boy.
Getting
And
here.
I'm not even going to say who I wanted here. It's just on the hope that it comes back to me in the 18th round. But I'm still sitting here looking at a spinning wheel.
That's tough. Oh, good advice from Mile High Luke. Maybe try your phone.
Oh yeah, I could. Oh, wait. Oh, now where is it going? I mean, I got hours now until this next pick.
Yeah, I did. I really, if I had gotten Sam Darnold and if I had JSN, Darnold, and Arroyo, that would have been real nice. Instead, I got Russell Wilson.
That would have been hot. It would have been hot. Let's
Yeah.
see if DraftKings will let me log in on my phone here. Oh, there we go. We're back in the draft room now.
I bet I know who you were looking to take.
It's possible.
I don't want to give any spoilers, though. I don't want to jinx it.
Don't give any spoilers.
I'll guess when you're on the clock again, when you come back around.
Yeah.
Isaac
Oh,
Tesler.
you know what? I just realized that he went right before it was Alec Pierce. I was trying to take Alec Pierce, and it gave me Dante Thornton, and then the dude next to me took Alec Pierce.
That would have been a great little stack with Daniel Jones there. Nice little affordable stack. And again, Alec Pierce, not necessarily a guy we love in a managed league, but he's perfect for best ball, right? Super fast, 6'4", can rip off 70-yard plays if things break right. So yeah, that's a tough one there. It's a good little strategy for people out there that have internet that's working. Are you in now? Can you actually make a pick now?
Oh yeah, I'm in when it comes back around to me. But I'm gonna be pissy for a few minutes here. I'm gonna be frustrated. I'm gonna be angry.
Well, let me talk about my pick here.
I mean, I'm spending top dollar here for internet in Alaska, damn it.
Right. The top of the top of the top. The best of the best of the best. What the
best
heck?
of the best of the best of the best.
Somebody owes you
the best of the best of the best, sir.
This guy Lino, dude. Why are you taking Darius Slayton there? Like, of all the players,
right? You want your late round pairing, right? You want your third QB to have somebody to throw it to, make it worth your while.
Right. Now I got to search. Did Wandale Robinson already go?
Oh, he's terrible. I wouldn't want him.
Okay. Looks like I'm taking Darren Waller.
Dude, I'll say this, man. The running back position has been picked clean.
Yeah. When the Sean
Congratulations
off the board.
Everybody for picking it clean.
Efton Chisholm off the board. Look out. I knew De'Ami Brown was the guy I was actually going to guess that you were going to take before.
I mean, I like De'Ami Brown. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Tight end double tap here from the one spot to give him 3 tight ends, K. Otten, Juwan Johnson, Will Disley. I'm not sure how in I am on the Dizzler.
I'm not really that in on him. Again, the addition of Keenan Allen definitely hurts the value of the fringe guys, right? Like you'll still see Will Disley lined up and Tyler Conklin with him in a 2 tight end set.
Right. But
I don't know who's catching the passes. I mean, you got Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey now running around there in in 12 personnel. You've got McConkey and Keenan Allen there, and those are both security blankets for Justin Herbert.
Right. Who's catching the passes? It's probably Aronde Gadsden. I'll go back to another favorite of mine in this round. Just same logic as the De'Ami Brown pick. Tutu Atwell. And again, this is why Tutu Atwell is one of my favorite last round picks, especially something that goes out to 20 rounds. And especially if I have Matthew Stafford, is that this team loves 3 wide receiver sets. They're going to have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua out there, but Demarcus Robinson's gone, right? This guy is the 3rd best wide receiver on the team, in my opinion. Last year when guys were hurt, he was getting 7-8 targets a game. It takes one injury for him to move into one of those top 2 chairs, at which point he's playing 90% of the snaps and getting a bunch of targets. And this round, a lot of these guys aren't even going to play. Efton Chisholm, as much as I love him, he might not even make the team. He's not a guarantee to be on the team. So even if he makes the team, he's not a guarantee to play. Tutu Atwell, I know he's going to play. I know he has contingent upside if there's an injury. I like the quarterback. I like the team. So that one's an easy pick for me.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Keandre Lambert-Smith off the board.
I know. See, now we're like really diving in deep. Once you get down this far, again, if you're throwing darts at wide receivers, I don't see a problem with that.
Right.
If you're throwing darts, if you're trying to throw a dart at a running back, like even like a DJ Giddens or a Kendra Miller, like you're banking on a big injury. Right? At least if you're taking Monangai or Brashard Smith, there is a potential path there. But some of these running backs that you're taking late here, not you personally, but just going off the board, Sean Tucker, Kendra Miller, DJ Giddens, you need the injury. Miles Sanders has a little bit of upside, I guess, a little bit, not a lot.
Yeah, I tell you what, when I look at I love looking at these boards when you get to this part of the draft, because it actually makes you a lot more confident in the starters for some of these teams, right? Like when I sit here and I look at the board in the 20th round, halfway through the 20th round, and Marshawn Lloyd and Emmanuel Wilson are both sitting there, doesn't that make you just a little more confident in Josh Jacobs, right? Because some of these, the second backs for some of these teams are going in like the 8th round.
Yeah.
We look at this team and we're like, not interested. Like, I feel like Josh Jacobs, his role is as secure as they come.
I agree.
Yeah. Marshawn Lloyd suffered a hamstring injury in the preseason game against the Colts that what LaFleur said is he's going to miss some time. So once again, Marshawn Lloyd, a guy that missed the entire season last year, he's expected to miss the start of this year. I'm going to throw Emmanuel Wilson on this team just in case, because I've never seen Marshawn Lloyd. I don't know.
You taking my handcuff? You taking my? I got Josh Jacobs. You taking my?
You don't need handcuffs in best ball. You need other people's handcuffs. Take Elijah Mitchell, dude.
I don't want to take Elijah Mitchell.
Nobody does. Did he go? Somebody took him. Somebody did draft him.
Yeah. Oh, it's brutal down here at the running back position. It's absolutely nightmarish.
Exactly.
It's nightmarish.
Oh, you got your Freiermuth in there. Another pick in these rounds. I mean, you're just looking for a guy that can score a touchdown at some point, and that's absolutely Freiermuth in the Arthur Smith offense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He could outscore Johnny Smith. Just given how annoying Arthur Smith is with tight ends, absolutely could happen.
Yeah. All right. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is awful. This is gross. But it's going to be Kyle Juszczyk.
Wow.
Because Juszczyk's getting that one wheel route, right? Come on.
The fullback pick. If you win,
wheel route, and he's going to get a touchdown because they have no wide receivers anymore.
If you win $2 million because Kyle Juszczyk cracks your lineup in the final week of the year, dude.
Dude, I'm going to hit up his wife and be like, you need to make me a jacket.
Make me a jacket, dude. I mean, she would. I think she would, because it would be all over the internet. Howard Bender picks Kyle Juszczyk, wins $2 million. That would be wild. Yeah. Jeremy Wilk wants to know, doing another draft? Yes, we are. Tomorrow we are drafting with the family. So that's going to be a live draft. I'm going to post that in the Discord today. Also, I'm going to get these slow drafts going. The first 2, we have enough to get 2 going. I'm hoping to get us up to 3 to get some final slow drafts going on these last couple of weeks. So those are all going to be in the Discord. Make sure you pop in there and you're good to go there. Also, folks out there, make sure you're all set up with DraftKings. That's who we did the draft with today. You can use promo code ALARM to get a deposit match up to $100. They also have 2 other things that you get if you just sign up right now. One of them, if you jump into this contest we did today, the $20 buy-in, $15 million total prize, Millionaire Best Ball Contest. If you jump into that, they give you a free ticket to do another one. So it's kind of buy one, get one free there. Also, if you deposit $5 or more today, they give you a $5 ticket into a week 1 DFS contest, which has $1 million prize too. So now is definitely the time to get signed up. If you've never been signed up before, either hit that QR code over Howard's face, or you can sign up at the URL that Howard's about to provide right now.
FantasyAlarm.com/DraftKings. Use that promo code ALARM. Again, big thank you to DraftKings for partnering up with us. And remember, this is Best Ball Week, baby. This is Best Ball Week. So the draft one, get one promo that DraftKings is running right now, it's a must. If you enter into the $20 entry fee for the $15 million Millionaire, which is a $2 million top prize. They will give you a ticket for another entry as soon as you jump into this contest here. So jump in, go to fantasyalarm.com/DraftKings, use the promo code ALARM or zap the QR code that you see right in front of you and take advantage of that draft one, get one little bonus that they're offering here. You won't be disappointed.
Yes. As always, we like to remind people, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369-NY. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. So folks out there, be playing safe, be playing smart, and keep rocking with us. Hopefully somebody here wins the big prize this year. If you let me have Daniel Jones, I would have won. No collusion allowed, but just saying. That was a difference.
It's a tough break, kid. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and you're wearing milk-bone underwear.
Well, that's it for us, guys. We're going to be back again. It's Best Ball Week, so we're doing a show every day. We're going to be back tomorrow drafting with the family, and that is going to be even more ruthless. It always is. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're on Sirius XM tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time on Channel 87 if you want even more of us. But that'll do it for us. We will catch you guys tomorrow.
Adios, turd nuggets.